associated with metals, right? So they're either bonded in the structure of metals. The hydrogens are either bonded to carbons or oxygens, right? So these are bonded to carbons and oxygens. When we go on the right-hand side of the equation, all of the hydrogens are only bonding with oxygen. So net, carbon definitely lost hydrogens, and hydrogen and oxygen definitely gained hydrogens. Let me write that down. We see in respiration, carbon lost hydrogens, and oxygen gained hydrogens. Oxygen gained hydrogens. And that's consistent, because we see that by losing hydrogens, we are being oxidized from a biologist's point of view, and by gaining hydrogens, oxygen is being reduced. And just so you can kind of make sense of this, when you see this in, when I start drawing out the mechanisms, which I will hopefully not make too hairy, this process of transferring these hydrogens is facilitated by molecules like NAD plus and FAD. You'll see that. It's really, if you just want to reconcile the two notions, as the hydrogens are being transferred from one electronegative atom to another electronegative atom, what's really being transferred is the opportunity to hog electrons. Carbon has a hydrogen to get to hog the electrons. But then if that hydrogen goes from the carbon to the whole atom, not just the whole atom goes to the oxygen. Now the oxygen has gained that electron that it's lost, and carbon has lost the electron. So carbon has been oxidized, and oxygen has been lost. And I mentioned this in previous videos, but probably the most confusing thing about oxidation is that you always want to say, oh, that must have something to do with oxygen. It does. The word really comes from, what would oxygen do to something? So oxygen, when it bonds with things, it loses, it takes away their electrons. Or, in a reaction, you often take away the hydrogen, from the carbon. So that's what the term oxidation is. You don't have to have oxygen anywhere in your reaction for oxidation or reduction to occur. Anyway, hopefully you found that reasonably useful. This was actually a huge pain point for me when, I got comfortable with the chemistry definition of oxidation reduction, and then all of a sudden you open up your biology book and they start talking about losing and gaining hydrogens as opposed to electrons, and it took me a while to really reconcile these two notions.